skip it. See it or skip it. See it or skip it.
On this week's See It or Skip It, grab a popcorn and a pickaxe because we're mining for movie gold. And I'm here with a special guest, Richard Bonaducci. How's it going, my friend?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. We've got a lot to talk about. We got a Minecraft movie and we've got Freaky Tales, something that I actually saw back at Sundance.
Oh.
And we should probably start with that because there's a lot of stuff with Minecraft to talk about.
Yeah, maybe get the kids out of the room to start for Freaky Tales, bring them back from Minecraft.
Yep, so Freaky Tales. This is directed by Anna Boden, Ryan Fleck, starring Pedro Pascal, Ben Mendelsohn, Jay Ellis. This is set in the 1980s in Oakland, and it's kind of a nightmarish Quentin Tarantino.
Very much so.
Like revisionist historical fiction about a basketball game going down and life collapsing in on this one moment.
If Pulp Fiction happened in 1987.
Yeah. Well, you had a chance to see this. What did you think about it? You've seen it the most recent. I still haven't seen it since Sundance.
Okay, well, I did enjoy it, but I would tell people if they wanted to see it to give it some time. It is one of these out of order, out of sequence movies, and they present it in 4 chapters that are broken up. They do interconnect. I swear, it might not seem like it at first. You might, like me, be going, what is going on here? But in the end, it not only makes sense, it pays off.
What did you think of the performances?
I liked that there were a lot of unknowns for me. And then all of a sudden, there's this huge, Pedro Pascal walks in and drops his bomb. And there's also some fun cameos, too. And I enjoyed the balance of people I didn't know with the folks I did.
Mm-hmm. And to avoid spoilers, make sure that you're not going on to IMDb to look at any of the cast, because you're going to immediately be spoiled by some of these cameos. One, you just need to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
I saw this in the theater at Sundance, and it's tough to judge a Sundance crowd because they're already overhyped to begin with. But if a movie wins them over, it becomes the most celebrated thing. And the crowd was going nuts during this film. In particular moments, there's a lot of satisfying payoffs to really horrific moments. It's gruesome, it's bloody, it's hilarious in some points. And like you said, it's told in a non-linear fashion, so you're not necessarily going to be involved in every story. Some might be a little bit weaker for you than others. And that's maybe the biggest problem with this, is that you can kind of select which portion you like the most and maybe discard the other.
Yeah, in the first chapter, when it finished, I went, oh, okay. Self-contained story. The second one didn't have as much to do with my interests. And then by the third, I'm going, all right, I'm along for the ride. Let's see how this connects. And then the fourth, everything pays off. It is a pretty hard payoff, though. It is R-rated, and they don't go easy on that.
Mm-hmm. Pedro Pascal, do you think he's oversaturated the market now? He's in everything.
I was going to say, he might want to take a step back. I remember when...
He can't. He's in Doomsday.
I know. Well, yeah, he's in Fantastic Four. But I remember back in the 80s when Sting and Phil Collins were everywhere, to talk about the 80s. And Sting actually said to Phil Collins, for them to miss you, you need to go away a little. So maybe he needs to take a break. I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be probably the next 5 years we're going to be seeing more Pedro Pascal. And maybe at that point he'll take a break. I know Tom Holland did with Spider-Man, so maybe every actor is, in the Marvel contracts, every actor is due, what do they call them, the 6-week paid off after you've worked for a company for so long?
Well, especially with their schedule. Yeah, it's a grind.
So this is a see it for you.
It's a see it for sure.
Okay, that's going to be a see it for me as well. So make sure that you check it out in theaters right now. But let's move on to a Minecraft film, a Minecraft movie.
You have to?
Yeah, we have to. Let's talk first about the lead up to this, because we got trailers. We saw that Jack Black was going to be leading as Steve.
You mean the 10 years of development lead, or the...
He's in every video game movie nowadays.
Pretty much.
And for good reason. He's kind of box office gold when you put him into this.
Well, and he is a walking cartoon, He
is.
Oh, no, I love Jack Black, but he was hired to be Jack Black.
Right. Yeah. Well, and he's got personal experience with this. He played the game with his kids, and I didn't know this was in development for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. So this
Yeah.
is directed by Jared Hess, who directed Napoleon Dynamite. This is a Utah fan favorite. Directed Nacho Libre, which, you know, he makes these films where maybe critically a lot of people will say, I don't know what Nacho Libre is. I don't understand the humor. I don't get it. But it's endlessly quotable and something that, like, it just sticks into your DNA for a very long time. Same with Napoleon Dynamite. But
Sure.
did that do it for a Minecraft film? For me, for the audience that is there to watch Minecraft, I think it did.
I'm trying to quote it, and I don't think I can.
Well,
So I'll put it this way. I should point out that I don't play the game. And
Me
I
neither.
think that's important. I know that they put a lot of the game in the movie, and I think people will appreciate that. And they put it in ways that actually matter. There's some fun stuff in the beginning, that another payoff in the end. There are some things that I'm assuming are just an Easter egg for someone to go, hey, and it's gone. That's fine. You know, in superhero movies, that happens all the time. I think there will be conversations with, did they do this right? Did they do this character or this element well? I didn't care. I didn't know the game. So I was just kind of watching it from the point of view of, are the adults who take their kids going to be entertained, and are the kids going to be entertained? I will tell you, I saw this with the public. So there's kids in the theater, and it starts off with as you know, a very strong Minecraft-centered sequence,
Yes.
right? Then there's 20 minutes of real-life exposition, and the kids were getting restless.
to me, it feels like this beginning portion is for the adults. Like, this is where they're giving you the Napoleon Dynamite humor. This is where Jermaine Clement is in it. And maybe one of the funniest parts of the whole thing, you get Jennifer Coolidge, who I think was probably the MVP of the whole thing.
I think she delivers some of the best jokes.
But the story, for lack of everything, is Steve has been yearning for the mine since he was a kid. Ever since he
Like you
yearned
do.
for like any normal kid.
Yeah.
Go mining. He transports into this world of Minecraft, the overworld, and from there he discovers this underbelly of these pigs or piglins that are coming to take over, and there's an artifact they have to get, and you could throw in every, like you said, superhero reference,
Sure.
MacGuffin, things like that. But that's every adventure film nowadays. I found myself having a lot of fun with each character. Jason Momoa as this loser gamer nerd that just never grew up, thinks that he knows tons of different languages, but he's only speaking in very broken Spanish, is very funny to me.
Okay, yeah, there's some funny stuff in it. I do want to point out that, again, the kids are getting restless, but then they go back to the Minecraft and stay there pretty much for the movie. And then I actually heard a kid behind me go, why are there so many songs? There are only 4 songs, and they're crazy short.
Jack Black is you get your money's worth when you get Jack Black.
Yeah. If you're going to have Jack Black in your film, you're going to get a song.
If Peaches is nominated for an Oscar, he is not going to stop singing in any of these children movies.
Yeah, I think the more your kid likes Minecraft, the more they'll be into this, even though I think as a movie, there isn't much there. And if I was to put my critic hat, well, I have my critic hat on.
You do?
And I'd be like, there's so much disconnection between what happens. Like, I don't know if it's a bad script or bad editing, just goofy stuff that I'll get into on my own thing. But I think adults are going to be going, and kids might get a little restless until they're back into Minecraft. Then it'll be fun. We should point out, there are 2 credit scenes, a mid and an end. So if you're going to go, you might as well stay for those. And the first one is Jennifer Coolidge. She's funny. And the second one, straight up sequel bait.
I'm
Right?
offended that you're hiding stuff from the show, Richard. You're going to have to tell me what your thoughts were.
I will.
But here's the thing. You're correct. This is a story that is not meaning to have a lot of depth. In fact, the kids' character arcs, very surface level. In fact, like, it's tough to really pin down where it is.
Yeah.
All of the currency, I guess, that they're spending is going to the weirdness of the characters, the world building. I think the effects look incredible. Like, when you get to see this in like the CG environment, some of the like dialogue scenes you can kind of tell it's a background, but when it's showing the llamas and it's showing the creepers and like Enderman, it's really cool.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are asking, why didn't they just make this full animation? There's a ton of animation shorts in Minecraft already, And I think what makes it cool is to have the real people in that crazy world. Because by contrast, it's even crazier. It is cool to look at.
I do think this is a decent setup for a more broadened story, or maybe more detailed story. For now, this is very much a look at that, that's amazing. Look at that, that's amazing. But there's really like thought put into it. Like there's a special cameo that happens in the film involving a pig character with a crown. I had no idea what this was, but once I discovered what it was, to me, that told me they cared so much about the source material and the people that played the game. Apparently, there's a lot of very big Minecraft gamers that are also cameoed in the movie. So there's a lot of stuff that if you love this world and you love this game, you're gonna have a great time. But for us old guys, I mean, it's tough. This is a kids movie. We don't have kids. How are we going to, you know, be relevant?
Again, that's why I gauge it with the kids that are there, and they, you know, admittedly, they were having a tough time here and there with it. I will say that a lot of the humor, once they're in the world, is almost slapsticky. Jason Momoa takes a lot of beatings, for instance, and all that kind of stuff. And I think that wears thin after a while. And I think it's weird that the moral of the story is don't play the game.
I'm not sure if that was the moral of the story.
Jack Black wants to.
Why are you spoiling things?
And they go.
Spoiling Minecraft wasn't where we were going.
Oh no, they're.
Brings back what?
The brings it with them. They'll go back in. But I thought it was weird that the moral of the story was don't play the game so much.
I don't think that was the moral. I don't even remember that part.
Oh yeah, very end of the movie.
I don't think that's the message.
I think it's the message.
And that's
I don't think he saw it.
That's see it or skip it.
I would skip it.
For me, it's definitely a see it. Like it's not really for me. This is for a family audience and kids that just need distractions and have fun.
But they can have good kids movies. I mean, think of.
Well, what would you like?
Does every Train Your Dragon
need to be How to Train Your Dragon?
I mean, those are good.
But that's the question. Does every film need to hit that level?
Yes.
Or are we so jaded because we watch so many of these films that now we can't really tell which is good or not because we're watching so much and we're oversaturated with it?
I take exception, sir.
Well, I think that I want to know what people think about this because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments about a Minecraft movie. So leave your comments down below. And let's jump into this because I had the chance to sneak into the overworld a little bit and talk with Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Daniel Brooke, and the director Jared Hess about the Minecraft world and everything they were doing. So let's take a look at that. Utah, I am here on the set of, well actually I might have disappeared into the Minecraft world. There are so many cool things behind me. I want to show everybody what's going on and we're going to be talking with the cast and crew of a Minecraft movie. Let's jump into it. We've got this backdrop. Everything looks exactly like what you would picture Minecraft to be. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to meet you both. Utah.
Oh my God, Utah.
I had a lot of questions, but at the end of the day, I was like, you know, I also have ADHD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget them the minute I start talking. So let's get some questions from some kids in
good.
Utah that want to ask the hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
So, first one. When it comes to mobs and the tools, was all of it CG? Were they using different ones?
Those are actually our stuntmen. Those are our friends, and they would have like, you know, the polka dot suit on and the helmets and stuff like that. But we're actually fighting someone.
We had to imagine what they were looking like, but we had pictures and drawings of them, so we knew what they were going to be. But, when it came to my wolf, Dennis, there was a dude who was an actor who had like a Dennis suit and a Dennis box head, and he was acting, and he was really there for me to interact with, and that was super helpful. Because when you put a face to the person you're acting with, it creates a lot more emotion that you can have. And he was actually a really good actor too, really good physical actor.
Benny, who's 8, he wanted to ask what your favorite Minecraft monster is.
I like the Enderman. Well, I like the Enderman because it was scary. They're a bit scary. So I mean, Enderman was dangerous. I kind of like that.
You can't beat the Enderman.
Sorry, one more. I really love that fuzzy bee.
That's not a villain, though. He's a good guy.
You say villain?
It could. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what his motivation
monster?
is. He could go evil.
You said what
monster.
Did you say?
My bad.
Which one is your favorite monster?
Yep.
Dude, you were right about the Enderman. The Enderman is the most.
If you're allergic to bees, that's a monster.
But But, sorry, too many butts? I'm gonna say Malgosha, which is really just a creation that we created for this movie. She is the queen of the piglins, an evil witch piglin. And she's bad, and she's terrifying, and she wants to destroy all creativity in the overworld.
What was the name of the big guy?
That guy.
The big pig. Till she releases. Remember. What was his name?
His name. It was like Barble. Oh. Was it Barble? Let's call it Barble. There's this big guy.
General, help us out over there.
Blowhard.
General Chungus.
Oh, was it Chuggus or was it Chungus?
Chungus.
Was it Chuggus or Chungus?
This is coming from Adam. Will you be playing Hero Brian for the sequel, Jack?
Dude, you want to know if there's Hero Brian in the sequel? We don't know. We're on a need-to-know basis. Hope so.
If there's anything that you want audiences, or more specifically parents, to take away from this film when their kids are like, I'm going to play Minecraft for 80 hours afterwards, what's the benefits to that?
It's true. I think there are benefits to it, and I see it more now than I did before because I have a kid too, but she's not old enough to play quite yet. I do see that, like, we need to escape sometimes. We need to get away and create our own world. Like, these kids are going through so much, and middle school is harsh, high school is tough, you know, even college, like transitioning to adulthood can be really tough. Like, it's okay to let your child go play a game. It's way better than some other things they could be doing. So I say let them go play, but make sure you go watch the movie first.
Minecraft is such a big, important part of a generation of kids.
Yes.
And how they're able to use their imagination. What was your Minecraft like when you were young?
Acting, period. That was it. Like, I remember getting to, like, learning about Shakespeare, and, you know, as kids that we got to create our own worlds and try to bring Shakespeare to life in a different way. Or I remember, like, rolling around acting like pigs and acting like, you know, cows, and just dumb acting games you used to play. That was my Minecraft. That was where I got to create, where I got to make different characters. So that would be what I would relate it to.
Was there a lot of improv on set that you guys could go back and forth on, or was it all just written down on the page?
There was a ton of improv. There was a ton of times where the writer or director would just whisper something in your ear and be like, okay, we'll just call him whatever, make up something, insert funny joke. That's a lot of the times what had happened. So I loved it, though. I love that.
Is it challenging when you're improvising for something that might be more kid-friendly and you have to be more restrictive?
That is so challenging because for me, I just came off Peacemaker for HBO, which is Warner Brothers too, and that was tough because those guys,
what a difference.
Oh, my night and day. Okay, so trying to clean up the jokes and leave out the cuss words, like, was a little challenging, but we did it. We did it.
I'm imagining there's a cut where there are a lot of different.
Oh yeah, I don't know who has it though, and I hope it's not telling on me because I probably had some bad ones.
With what you know with Minecraft, do you have a favorite character? Do you have a favorite animal, a favorite area?
I really do love Steve. And I really love Steve and Dennis's relationship that turns into Dawn and Dennis together. I love that journey. But then I also like Clemente. Who doesn't love Clemente? And I think the relationship that he has with Jennifer Coolidge's character is hilarious.
Jennifer Coolidge is amazing.
Isn't she?
So funny. Let's talk about Steve for a second, because Jack Black doesn't seem like the initial choice to play this character that kind of doesn't have any emotions in the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, Jack being Steve was like kind of the #1 choice. You know, Jack was such a big fan of the game. He's such a big gamer, but he's just a big kid. You know, he's like a child at heart, and it was like the energy and the passion that he brings to everything that he does. it only made sense for a guy like him to be like, you know, as a child, he yearned for the mines. It's such a strange obsession to have, but yeah, with Jack doing it, it makes sense. And again, he's like, look, Jason may be like a total Adonis, perfect hunk of a man. Jack might be one of the greatest athletes of our time. The dude is the most agile guy you ever met. He's totally shredded. Don't underestimate him.
What made you want to jump into the Minecraft world next?
Oh man, well, I'm such a huge fan of the game. Right when it came out, my kids and I would play it, and it was such a ridiculous good time. And it was like kind of the perfect place to set an epic, hilarious adventure film. And so yeah, it was kind of a dream come true for me.
How do you infuse that Napoleon Dynamite humor into such a big budget tentpole film like this?
Yeah. I made a movie with Jack Black almost 20 years ago called Nacho Libre, and since then we've tried to work together again, and stuff's come and gone, and finally the stars aligned to be able to work with him on a Minecraft movie. And Jason Momoa too, it's like, oh my goodness, been such a big fan of his, and to come up with a character where, you know, instead of him kicking butt, he's getting his butt kicked most of the film. I mean, look, he's the biggest hunk on the planet, and to see him be like a giant delusional nerd was so much fun. And so, you know, I think for me, I'm so interested in character-based comedy, and when we were coming up with each character in the film, it's like we just wanted to bring that special kind of nuance and character quirks that make it memorable and relatable. And so, yeah, I think that's where some of that tone comes from, is just what I'm interested in.
You can feel it through the whole thing. I think there was also a few nods to your previous work with Jack Black in The Ring, seeing a little bit of Nacho Libre. Was there anything that I missed regarding llamas, though, when it comes to Minecraft llamas?
That's so funny. Well, yeah, so, yeah, in Napoleon Dynamite, there's a llama. It was actually my mom's llama in that film.
What?
And in Minecraft the game, there are llamas everywhere, and they're super funny, super weird, and so we just had to, you know, bring them to life on the big screen.
How is improv on set with all of these comedic actors?
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, look, when you're working with like Danielle Brooks or Jennifer Coolidge or Jack or Jason or whoever, it's so much fun. And Jermaine Clement too, one of my favorite actors of all time. He's just so funny. But Jennifer Coolidge, look, the outtakes that we had with her, we could have made a whole other film.
No.
Like, she is so funny. She had the crew in stitches constantly. Yeah, we could have had a whole other side movie about her and the nitwit at dinner.
How much pull do you have where you can make that happen?
Oh man, I wish it might be rated R, but the PG stuff's in the film.
Minecraft is such a creative world, and a whole generation has learned so many things through that. During your time as a kid, what was your Minecraft? What was your creative outlet that you were doing?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was making films. Like, I had such a passion for movies, and then started making videos at home with my friends and my brothers. And so it was just kind of a passion that turned into a hobby. And, you know, I had a dream of becoming a filmmaker and telling my own stories. And so, yeah, it was just kind of, that was my creative outlet, was making videos and films.
Whoa! How fun was that?
No, I do love Jack Black.
They were so much fun, and the whole experience was amazing. There was times where I just could not believe who I was looking at, and I think that affected me, like giving a decent answer to what they were saying.
Cool set you were on too.
Right, it was
really
very
cool. They
very
went for
cool.
it. Yeah.
With that being said, we're almost done, but I want to mention Daredevil. Season 3 is about to wrap up.
Yeah, we do.
What were your thoughts so far? We're about to close out.
I love Daredevil. I always have. I read him as a kid, and so I'm very happy that he's getting a lot of spotlight now. I do wonder if it's getting to be too much a little bit. Everyone's talking Daredevil. Everyone loves him now. But I'm happy that there's more of it and that more is coming, and that I'm pretty sure he's going to be incorporated into the MCU. There's news of Wilson Fisk also in the MCU. I'm pleased.
I don't know how they're going to do that. It's going to be a very watered down version of them.
Maybe.
But I think this season has been ramping up more and more. And when it hits its conclusion, we're going to have an interview with one of the cast members of it. Stay tuned to see who that is. And stay tuned next week, because we're going to be talking The Ballad of Wallace Island, that we also saw at Sundance. Very fun movie. With that being said, Richard, tell the people where they can find you.
I am Friday mornings with Hooker and DB in the morning on 106.7, Rock 106.7. I have my own stuff, and I hang out with you on occasion.
Yes, you do. It's great having you here, man. Hope
Great
to have
being
you
here.
back again. Make sure that you go to ABC 4 Seat or skip it and check out all of the news, interviews, and reviews that we have. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and we'll see you at the next review.
See it or skip it. 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 See it or skip it.